At its core, regular show always followed one simple rule. Take a completely normal, boring situation and crank it straight into a supernatural nightmare. That's how a simple joke could summon a demon from a mirror, a bad smell could turn into a body horror curse, and a scary story could end up with your friends getting fired from life. So this isn't just a fun nostalgia trip. We're counting down the top 10 most twisted and unforgettable times this show proved it was anything but regular. It all begins like a normal day at the park. Mordecai and Rigby are cleaning up when they both spot a quarter glimmering in the grass. "Quarter! Jinx!" Mordecai shouts, leaving Rigby unable to talk without risking a punch. What starts as harmless fun quickly turns into something much darker. Desperate to break the jinx, Rigby asks Muscle Man for advice, who tells him to say his own name in the mirror 3 times. Easy, right? Not exactly. Instead of breaking the curse, Rigby accidentally summons a terrifying demon from the underworld that begins turning everyone in the park into monsters. The only way to stop it is by saying its name backwards in the mirror. Between the cursed reflection, the creepy design, and the panic that follows, this episode went from goofy comedy to straight up horror. For a so-called kids show, Jinx left plenty of fans sleeping with the lights on. Halloween night is supposed to be fun, but not for Mordecai and Rigby. In this particular episode, the duo goes trick-or-treating in their usual ridiculous fashion, using fake kids to score extra candy. When one house doesn't answer, Rigby decides to egg it, unaware he's angered a vengeful wizard. That one mistake turns into a full-blown nightmare. The wizard curses Rigby, slowly and painfully transforming his body into a living house, each scene more disturbing than the last. Soon after, the wizard attacks the park, taking down everyone in gruesome horror movie fashion. High-Five Ghost gets sucked through a phone, Mordecai is decapitated, Skip's burned alive, and Benson flushed down a toilet. One by one, Rigby watches his friends die, begging for mercy from the same wizard he mocked. It's dark, gory, and shockingly brutal for Cartoon Network. What starts as a cozy movie night quickly turns into one of the creepiest regular show episodes ever. Rigby picks a horror flick called Hello Governor, a movie about a British taxi possessed by the vengeful spirit of its murdered driver. After watching it, Rigby laughs it off, but once the lights go out, his nightmares begin. Everywhere he goes, he hears that eerie voice, "Hello, Governor." Soon, his dream starts merging with reality. He sees the taxi everywhere, stalking him, waiting to strike. Kinda like the movie Christine. Mordecai and Pops try to calm him down, but when the taxi shows up in the real world, even they're terrified. In a moment of bravery, Rigby faces his fear and destroys the car, only to discover it was just a kid in a costume. The twist ending didn't make it any less chilling, and to this day, Hello Governor stands as one of the darkest, most unsettling episodes in cartoon history. The gang's on a late-night road trip when they decide to tell scary stories to pass the time. But Benson's story easily takes the crown. His tale begins with Mordecai and Rigby slacking off one too many times, pushing him past his limit. He can't fire them, so he kills them instead. Their ghosts return to haunt the park, tormenting Benson until he realizes the only way to truly get rid of them is to officially fire them through his computer, which, of course, is trapped inside a swirling tornado from the underworld. After barely managing to finish the firing process, Benson celebrates his victory, only for the twist to drop. Mordecai and Rigby were never dead. Benson was the one haunting them. It's dark, twisted, and hilarious all at once. Even the park's calm, dependable handyman has his breaking point. An episode skips his stress, the usually unshakable Skips is overloaded with work, doing everyone's jobs on top of his own. When he finally takes a stress test, the results come back at critical. Benson orders him to take a day off, but instead of relaxing, Skip slips into a terrifying nightmare where his stress takes physical form. The pressure literally becomes a monster, a massive pulsating demon made from the combined anxiety of everyone around him. As it grows stronger, the crew must join forces to defeat it before it consumes Skips entirely. The episode turns a simple message about burnout into a surreal high-stakes horror story. Watching stress itself become a living, breathing creature was haunting, and surprisingly relatable. When the park's budget runs dry, Benson calls a meeting for fundraising ideas. After a few bad suggestions, Mordecai and Rigby propose hosting a scary movie night in the abandoned cemetery. Against all odds, Benson agrees. They rent Zombocalypse 3D, a banned ultra-violent foreign bootleg advertised as 3 hours of pee-your-pants horror. The night of the screening, everything seems to be going great, until the zombies on screen start to crawl out into real life. Chaos erupts as the undead swarm the park, turning the fun movie night into a full-blown apocalypse. Mordecai, Rigby, and the gang grab whatever they can, weights, tools, even sports gear, to fight off the horde in a scene straight out of Call of Duty Zombies. It's violent, gory, and completely over the top, yet somehow aired on Cartoon Network. It proves that even a silly fundraiser can end in absolute undead destruction. This one takes something as ordinary as sleepwalking and turns it into a full-blown horror show. The episode begins with Muscle Man brutally attacking Mordecai and Rigby while he's asleep, leaving everyone terrified and confused. At first, they think it's just a weird habit, but when the attacks keep happening, they decide to tie him down and record his dreams to find out what's really going on. Reviewing the footage, the group discovers something straight out of a nightmare. Strange, childlike creatures from Muscle Man's dreams are literally escaping into reality. The park transforms into a battleground as these cute, but deadly dream demons wreak havoc. With nowhere to run, the crew has to fight them off in the living room before they break free into the outside world. This episode turns one of the most harmless animals imaginable into pure nightmare fuel. While picking up trash for a dead animal bingo card, Mordecai and Rigby find what they think is a roadkill skunk. But when Rigby gets too close, it sprays him. And this isn't your ordinary stink. Skips reveals it's a curse that slowly transforms its victims into skunk beasts. As the smell spreads, Rigby's body begins to morph in disturbing animalistic ways, each scene more grotesque than the last. In a desperate attempt to stop the transformation, Rigby seeks out the original skunk for help, only to learn he's been tricked. The cure he was told doesn't exist. Just as he's about to lose control completely, Mordecai bursts in with the real remedy: tomato paste. What follows is a chaotic showdown of claws, fumes, and fear. It's a darkly funny body horror episode that shows how even a bad smell can spell disaster. Pops has always been the most innocent soul in regular show, but that innocence nearly destroys him in Creepy Doll. While cleaning out the attic, he finds an old dusty doll and decides to keep it despite Mordecai and Rigby's protests. At first, it seems harmless, until Pops wakes up with mysterious markings all over his face. Terrified, he throws away the doll, but somehow it comes back. When the boys check on him, they find Pops whispering to the doll like it's alive. And it is. The doll begins controlling Pops, forcing Mordecai and Rigby into a chilling showdown straight out of a horror movie. The final battle takes place in the basement, filled with eerie lighting, demonic laughter, and one last jump scare that'll make you flinch no matter how many times you've seen it. Rigby's thrilled to finally buy himself a brand new mattress, until a news alert warns viewers that some beds are haunted by the spirit of Johnny Allen Wrench. Seconds later, Rigby's bed springs to life, get it, and starts attacking him, knife-shaped Allen keys and all. The possessed mattress takes the entire park hostage, taunting the crew while Benson tries to negotiate for their safety. But Johnny isn't interested in deals, he wants revenge. With no other option, the group goes full horror action mode using hammers, drills, and raw determination to destroy the killer bed. It's brutal, hilarious, and completely over the top. Watching Mordecai and Rigby fight a murderous piece of furniture under the bright light of day feels absurd, but that's exactly what makes it so unforgettable. A haunted mattress may sound ridiculous, but regular show somehow turned it into one of the most intense and bizarre finales in cartoon history. And that wraps up the top 10 darkest regular show episodes. For a series about a couple of slackers at a park, regular show dove into some seriously twisted territory. So which episode scarred you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Otherwise, the demon from Jinx might be waiting in your mirror tonight.